Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the betting show for the Mexico Open 2023. We are back after a brief break at the Zurich Classic. DB, your host here. Pat Perry, flustered, a little flustered.
Little flustered.
What are we drinking tonight, Pat? We gotta make sure you stay good. The levels.
Yeah, I'm good. I got it. Just a regular. You know what I'm drinking tonight, DB?
What are you drinking tonight, Pat? I asked you that. What are you drinking?
This is a Atlanta Brewing Company. It's actually a cider.
Ugh, I don't like ciders.
I think this is pretty good. This one's a little sweet.
I've got a throwback for you. I'm drinking a beer tonight too, and I'm drinking a Wild Leap Chance IPA.
Oh, that's a good one. Has that been in there? Like, did you just find that at the store, or has that been like?
I just found it at the store.
They've been carrying those at the local groceries.
Yeah, I had it on tap at a restaurant a couple of nights ago, and I was like, God, this is good. I forgot how good this is. So I found it at Liquorland, you know. But anyway, this isn't a liquor or beer podcast.
No.
Contrary to what may happen later, I don't know, because you got to be drunk to want to handicap the Mexico Open. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about John Rahm. We're gonna talk about Tony Finau. We're gonna talk about everybody else. We've got our top 26 pack coming up at the end of the show. You don't want to miss that. We're going to give you 4 top 20 locks, 2 top 20 bombs. It's going to be a great show. And I'm excited to get back at it, Pat. And we are presented to you by our friends at Leaderboard. That is the place to go. If you want to keep track of your own game, your own stats, there's a lot of people in the Discord, in the Nut Hut, talking about, oh, damn, I didn't realize how much I missed my driver left, or how often I was short on green and regs, or how many putts I had per round. It felt like I was a better putter than that. Clearly, I am not. So it's great to keep up with your own game. It's also great to keep up with your on-course gambling with your friends. So our friends at Leaderboard have you taken care of. It's free to download on iOS only. The link is in the description of the podcast or the YouTube video. You can just use referral code TJ when you get in there. It's a beautiful app, and it's very well done. And it's all free. GPS, statistics, taking care of your handicaps. It'll dot the scorecard for you. It'll tell you who owes who money, kick you to Venmo if you have to pay. And it syncs with the USGA. So you don't have to go and put in your GIN information a second time. You just do it on Leaderboard app. It kicks it over. It's GIN management season, people. Because
it is. Absolutely.
I got a member in less than a month coming up, Pat. You have a tournament. You have one of your member guest events coming up. We have our member guest later in the summer. So you got to manage those handicaps. I found out, I just looked yesterday, I have a low score three rounds away. So if I can play 3 times in the next 2 weeks, which I should be able to get that done. If I can play 3 times in the next 2 weeks, I can get that one out before they check the handicaps. They lock them in for my member.
Yeah. I haven't been too good because I actually am playing decent. So the handicaps going the wrong way. I need to be better about that. The blow up holes. I need to just, not try so hard, I guess. I don't know.
By the way,
we're also going to be real though.
We're also going to give this away tonight. I've got a Masters 2023 hat and a koozie. I'm going to give that away. Look, still got the tag on it. Give that away. It'll be really easy to enter. No big deal. Stay tuned. We're reunited. We're happy. We needed our break. We really did. Hope you enjoyed the Zurich. It was okay. Really happy to see Nick Hardy win. Like that kid a lot. Love Nick Hardy. Davis Riley, sure, like him too. He's a Bama guy, but whatever. Great to see those guys get it done. Got your hunt. Nice. But, it is what it is. We needed our time. One of the things we did during our time, you're probably like, DB, you didn't do shit during your. That's not true. I did a lot. One of the things we did is we added 4 new blog writers on TJ.com. And I'm excited about it. Jack Latterman is writing around the clubhouse right now. It's up on tourjunkies.com. It is available to look at right now. And it's just kind of a really fun, lighthearted, curated piece of content from around the golf interwebs for the previous week. Nothing betting, nothing DFS related, just funny, interesting, weird, awkward golf stuff. And then our boy Nate Moore is also already published on tourjunkies.com with the rundown. And that is just kind of the basics, what you need to know, get you started with this week's golf tournament, the golf course, past history, kind of things you need to know. And then Nate likes throwing in a few of his favorite bets for the week too. So he's thrown in a few outrights, a couple top 20s, tries to sell you on those guys. He's got some bombs in there today. It was good.
Yes.
We got our boy AK going to be getting published here pretty soon. Alan Klutz is going to have his power fade article. Going to give you a few guys to consider fading in the 8K range and above. Bold piece of content right there, Cotton. Maybe not so much this week, but next week, that's going to suck for Alan. But it'll be a bold piece. And then I'm excited about this. Our boy, we now have brought on a resident Italian mafia mob member, Vince Margiotta from New York. And Vince came out the womb gambling. He really did. It's in his blood. And so he's doing a couple things. Let's Go Juicing is going to come out either Tuesdays or Wednesdays every week, where he finds a short number, probably like John Rahm this week, and he parlays it with something else that he's researched, another sport. You're going to want to follow that. And then I'm really excited about this that drops on Saturday nights, maybe Sunday mornings, the Sunday Save Your Ass parlay.
Yes.
Vince said, dude, a lot of weeks when I'm down units through 3 rounds, I save my ass because I parlay some finish position stuff going into Sunday, looking at the leaderboard, figuring out who's doing what, parlaying that for Sunday. That gives you another Sunday sweat to help you recover. Vince is bringing the heat there. It's going to be good stuff. More articles to come, but those are all going to be going live this week on tourjunkies.com. So check out the blog page. It is free. It is free.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love this stuff. I mean, their stuff is going to be great. By the way, I saved my ass with $12 showdown entries on a Sunday night.
I was going to bring it up. Later, but we'll just bring it up now. Guys, we have another big announcement to make, and I regret to inform you about this. But tonight is going to be Pat's last night ever on the podcast. He is, he's turned in his notice, and it looks like it's a short one. We're going to go, it's one of those where when you leave for a competitor, you just kind of tell you to pack your shit up now and go. But Pat is going to be turning into a baseball tout now.
Yeah, I am. Well, I mean, this is what happens, DB, when you enter a $12 single entry showdown lineup and you win the whole damn thing. I mean, you click names. It's baseball. It's easy. You just click a name here. You pick a captain. Boom. You turn $12 into $1,000. It's easy. It's easy.
What kind of research did you do? Seriously.
I literally.
How many minutes?
I mean, however long it took to click the names.
That's not research. Okay, that's 0.
But I mean, I did know the players. I knew who they were.
I don't know that I could put. How many players do you have to put in a DraftKings baseball lineup?
You know what? If you're holding my feet to the fire, I can't say I'm sure. I think it's 6 also.
If it's 6, I think I could name 6 players. I don't know that I could name 6 at every position. Actually, I don't think I could. I don't think I could name a catcher in the major leagues right now.
Well, you could. I mean, the Braves catcher. I don't know his first name. Last name Murphy. He had a home run tonight, by the way.
Dale Murphy.
Hey, how about there's a guy named Varsho for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Varsho?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about that?
He's a catcher. That's all I can tell you. But
I literally couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Sean Murphy, Steve in the chat. Sean Murphy, that's right.
But shout out to you. Shout out to you for taking down the single entry baseball.
I mean, look, I got to give the shout out to the Nut Hut is what I got to give the shout out to.
Yeah,
the only reason I even know baseball is because of the Nut Hut.
Dude, I saw some big takedowns too in the Hut. Who had the big one yesterday? Somebody took down. We had. I think our boy was it.
You mean besides me?
Yeah. Besides you, I was looking in the winning or no. Somebody made the Hall of Fame in the Discord yesterday. Oh, behind enemy lines. Won 5K. Won the birdie.
Yeah. Oh, that was golf. Golf.
Yeah. Won the 20 max entry birdie contest, and then the week before at Harbor Town, didn't we have? Didn't Bert do something big at Harbor Town? Didn't Bert win like 65? I don't know. There was a lot of winning at Harbor Town going on into that. Anyway, it's good times. Next week, quick update. Last minute, I am going to the Wells Fargo. So I will be at Quill Hollow. I think I'm going to be media. I'm not sure. May have gotten my credentials taken away. I think I'm going to be media, but either way, it'll be fine. We'll get plenty of content or plenty of intel from walking the ground, walking the golf course, seeing what we're looking at, watching some players, talking to some guys, doing our thing. So I'm looking forward to that. So that may mean that there's a few things content wise that may not get done. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll do our best. I'll do the show here Monday night, and then I'm going to get up early and head to Charlotte on Tuesday. So catch me at the Wells if you're going to be there, but we're going to have some great content for you, and that's an elevated event. So it's going to be stacked. I'm excited about that. Anything else, Pat, we need to get to before we get to the top of the board here?
No, I think I'm ready. Well, as ready as I'm going to be.
Beautiful. Let's get to the top of the board. And when you got Jon Rahm up top at plus 280 or 3-1 or whatever he is, okay, Vince is going to help you out because Vince is going to give you the let's go juice and parlay, help you work John into your lineups. If you're like me, during football season, during the fall swing, I have an easy time. Like I get convictions on who I want, what NFL or college thing I want to parlay with one of these short guys. But NBA and Major League Baseball season, like I don't know. Clearly, I'm not the savant that Pat is. So if Vince can't help you, our friends at Pickett can certainly help you because there's a ton of sharp bettors on Pickett, and you can see just how sharp they are because you can see how much they win and how much they lose. And you can track your own bets on the Pickett app, and it's free on iOS and Android. In fact, if you click the link in the description of the podcast or YouTube video and you use code TJ, you have to use code TJ, then you also get paid to download the app. That's right. They pay you to download the app. You're either going to get $3. Everybody's going to get at least $3 if you use the referral code TJ. Or one person every day gets $100 from Pickett sent to their PayPal once you've signed up, and you have to link at least one sports book. But you can do sports books if you're in a state where sports betting isn't legal. You can do Prize Picks or Underdog or Sleeper or Parlay Play or all those other ones. You can sync any one of those books or all those books, track your bets, tail a lot of sharp bettors. I think you need to do that. Here's what I'm going to say. One person who has downloaded the Pickett app starting today, so you haven't already downloaded it. If you've already downloaded it, guess what? You don't count this week. Okay. And get mad. Go ahead. Send me an email. Get in the YouTube comments. I can see it now. I don't care. Every other contest we've ever done has always been retroactive starting tonight because it's a little thing. We're just giving this away. This is it. Download the Pickett app if you haven't already. Use referral code TJ. Okay. Link a sports book, and I'll send one person this Masters 2023 hat and Masters koozie. It's a hat and a koozie. We just need more people to get involved with Pickett. It's a great app. It's a useful app. I think you'll love it once you get in there and use it. So starting for people who haven't done it yet, starting today, that could be you. And listen, for those people, you could win this very easily because there may not be a lot of you that do it. So we've already had a lot of people do it, and it's been great. You see AK's in the chat. Pickett is incredible. Get on that app, people. Yes. So if you want to figure out who to parlay Jon Rahm with, you could do that. Pat, we're not betting Jon Rahm, right?
No, I'm not betting Jon Rahm. What fun is that? What
about Finau?
I feel like it's Finau week.
Do you?
Yeah, so I'm going to be betting him. I'm going to play him in DFS, and then I think you bet him outright too. Yeah, I like Finau a lot this week.
I like him too. Obviously, I rode his jock very hard at the Masters, and it was a very average ride. It was very it was missionary style, really.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything spicy about it. There wasn't even highs and lows. It was just right to a T32 or whatever he did, T24. But the ball striking has still been fantastic out of Finau. He just can't. The putter's cold right now. It's just cold. And, he's just going to be able to dude, Finau this week with these fairways that are like miles wide and it's just full send all week. Finau might be able to take his backswing, to like here. Like he could go
like a 3/4. He's going to get
instead of here, he could just be here.
Yeah. Which is basically 3/4.
Which is going to add like another 6 miles an hour ball speed. He can unload here in Mexico. But plus 850, I mean, really? Are we doing it?
I mean, it's not going to excite you a little bit, but I mean, I feel like Finau could. I mean, if you're just looking at the field and how bad this field is, it's just like last year. It's very similar. And what happened? Rahm, who was the favorite, won. And actually Rahm was, what was he going into last year? Like, was he 5-1,
Yeah,
6-1?
he was still really low.
Yeah. Even though he wasn't exactly like,
No.
he hadn't been winning, at least like he is right now. So I feel like you can go with Finau, and I would not normally be all over a guy at plus 750, plus 800, whatever you may get him at. But in this case, I think you go with it, especially with his field.
I mean, it really is like it's Rahm on a tier of his own here. And then I think Finau's also on a tier of his own. It's just a few notches down, from Rahm. And then there's a small group after Finau, and then there's kind of this middle, and then there's everyone else. If you look at the implied odd totals, I think it's between 35 and 40% between most books, implied odds for Tony or Jon Rahm to win this thing, which still means 60% of the time, 65% of the time, one of those guys will not win because it's golf. I do think this week, when you're looking at the weather, there is 0 wind predicted this week. I mean, nothing. No rain. So the course will be good and dry, which is good. But no rain, but 0 wind. And last year, I went back and looked. I read through a bunch of quotes, both before the tournament and after the tournament started. I dropped a lot of those very relevant player quotes in the Nut Hut player quotes section. Check that out. A lot of guys talked about how the wind kicked up most of the afternoons. There were some times where it was not super easy. This year doesn't look like that at all. And Rahm got to 17 under. 3 other guys got to 16 under. I could see scores getting into the 20s this year. And if they do, we know what that does is the birdie fest, kind of starts to allows other people to get involved. When it's harder, the cream rises to the top easier over the 4 days. And that's why the best players in the world win majors. But, so, I mean, you could get there. The only other guy in this range is Wyndham Clark for me at 20-1 on BetMGM and PointsBet, I believe. Or actually, now it's only BetMGM. I think it's dropped elsewhere. He's been dropping a little bit all day, so he's getting hit a little bit. So 20-1 on BetMGM is the best number for Clark. And I mean, it doesn't feel great. I did the first look show this morning with the Nut Hut family, and there was a couple of people kicking and screaming about Wyndham Clark. But, I mean, everything's lining up. The form's there. Golf course suits him well. Everybody has stinky numbers this week. So you just got to hold your nose and click the button, right? Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think that here's the thing. I mean, Wyndham Clark continues to play well. Just every single week that he's out there, he's playing well. We know he's a great putter. You're right. This is a good course fit for him. Really, he could have easily won last week at the Zurich. Yeah. I mean, if you count a team as a win, which I think, for folks like him, it is. Yeah. Hardy and Davis Riley, it's kind of a win.
Yeah.
But so I think Wyndham Clark's a good bet, and he would have been my other play up here at the top. I mean, you're just going to have to go into this with the mentality that it's not like a normal week at all from a field standpoint. And there's going to be some guys up there that, you may never want to take normally, but you're going to have, if you're putting your betting card together, there's going to be some guys you're going to have to hold your nose about. And I don't know if Wyndham Clark, though, he doesn't stink to me. He doesn't smell funny. He doesn't smell funny.
I'm talking about the number.
Yeah.
That's it. But okay, of speaking of smelling funny, of the guys up top in this 25-1 shorter range, who's the stinkiest? Who's the one that just is the worst to you? I have mine.
Well, I feel like I know where you're going to go with this, but for me, what's the number? Because it's really not anybody that's definitively in 25.
Yeah, okay, my bad. Yeah, I guess like in the top. So yeah, creeping into the 30s and 40s.
Well, Patrick Rogers to me always has a little bit of a stink to him.
Well, yeah, he just kind of.
Like, I don't think he cleans his
No.
toenails.
No, you know what his is?
He has a toenail issue.
He's clean. His body is clean, but the Joker leaves his clothes in the washer too long, and then he throws. And so there's like a hint. There's like a touch of that mildew smell when your clothes sit there wet for a minute. But your body's clean. You don't have you don't have dandruff. Your teeth are fine. But you're just a little musty because you don't know how to time your laundry the right way and get your stuff over into the dryer. Don't be a schmuck. That's Patrick Rogers. I got a guy in here I just think is just flat out stinky. I think he's gross.
Who's that?
Gary Woodland. It's clearly Gary Woodland.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No. Woodland is a clean. Have you ever seen Woodland? He's very clean.
Yeah, I have.
He's got.
No, he's not clean.
He wears Axe body armor. I mean, all these things that make you smell
That's what people do that are dirty. They spray all that on them to try to cover it up. My high schooler does that. My oldest does that. He's right there. That's what he does. He doesn't clean himself well enough, so he just bathes in Axe body spray.
But there's some things that smell good about Gary Woodland.
No, I'm not sniffing around any particular parts, but I can almost guarantee you that the main part is I want to know, can this boy win? Because we're talking about outright bets. Gary Woodland has played 330 PGA Tour events. 330. He has won
a major
4 times. The most recent win was almost 4 years ago at the U.S. Open. He ain't winning, okay? He ain't winning. He ain't going to do it. He can't. He's just not going to do it. That's why he stinks. Sure. Does he do some things fine? Sure. Okay, he does. But yeah. But he stinks because he can't win. I honestly trust. This is crazy. And I hate on Patrick Rogers all the time. I think Patrick Rogers wins before Gary Woodland wins again.
Wow, now that's really saying something.
I think Gary Woodland is future Patrick Rogers in a way. I think, I think I said this morning, or I don't know if this is a new idea, but I feel like Gary Woodland is so much older than Patrick Rogers, although they're probably very close to age because Rogers has been on tour a long time. It just feels like Woodland is what Rogers will eventually become, except probably -4 wins.
Yeah, I mean, he does fit the profile here, though.
Yeah. Who, Rogers or
and he's
Gary?
Played. No, Gary Woodland.
Yeah, I guess.
He's played better recently, too. I tell you what, it could really set you off. I mean, Mav McNeely could stink. I'm sorry.
No. I actually for right now, I think I'm Mav is on well water and his well pump is down. So he can't for like a week, for a couple. We don't know. It could be
he has to boil his water.
Yeah. He's they're on low water usage at the moment. Like he can't, he doesn't have enough but he'll clean up real quick when he gets clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway,
when he gets he needs a good shower.
Yeah. Recommendations in the chat of what we should name this episode now that we've talked about bathing and cleaning and all that stuff. Anyway, that's probably all I got up here. Let's move on to the kind of this mid-range area, which is where Patrick Rogers falls, where Mav McNeely falls. This is the most juicy range to me. And I bet these freaking numbers have gotten shorter since I did this. Rogers' number is plummeting. He was 34-1 this morning on FanDuel. Now he's 28-1 on FanDuel. The best number I see for him is 30-1 on PointsBet. I don't want to. Not doing that one. Mm-hmm. Højgaard's number is plummeting. I got him this morning at like 32-1. He's at 28-1 on DK and MGM. I'm a little interested in Højgaard. I am interested in Højgaard from an outright standpoint. Less and less interested as his number continues to go down. But 28, I guess I'd still bite. If you could get better than that, that'd be great. What do you think about Højgaard? You like him?
No, I'm a big fan of his. He and Thorbjorn Olesen were the only two guys that I bet on for the team event. I thought they should. I mean, they made the cut, but they had some disappointing. They were not great in alternate shot, but so I don't mind him at all. He played well on Paspalum greens before, didn't he? Didn't he? What was the tournament that they played? Corrales. That's on Paspalum, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Paspalum, whatever. How do you say it?
Paspalum.
How do you say it correctly?
I say Paspalum. I guess where you put the emphasis. But yeah,
either way, he was second there. So
yeah, I like Højgaard. I'm getting less excited. The more these numbers get closer to Wyndham Clark, the more I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna pound Wyndham Clark, maybe some Finau, a Rom parlay, and call it a day. I don't know.
Are we just are we totally done on Taylor Pendrith?
I am.
I'm starting to feel like I don't.
He's not playing the same.
What is he now? I mean, and the odds don't match up with the way he's playing.
No, they don't. It's like there's some sort of name value on Taylor Pendrith. I mean, last year, he was kind of the up and comer, but didn't he get hurt? Now he's come back and he's not quite the same, right?
He just hadn't been good. His driver's bad. All over.
He's obviously got all the distance you want here, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a terrible number to bet Taylor Pendrith. I will laugh and scoff at anyone who puts Taylor Pendrith on their outright card. Yeah, terrible decision.
So here's another one. I feel like I'm hijacking this a little bit, but there's just some interesting names in here that I don't understand.
Okay,
like Steven Jaeger is at 36-1 on FanDuel, and he is at 50-1 on PointsBet, but 36-1.
Okay,
that puts him in the top half of one being like a favorite. Like if you just take out Finau. You take out Rahm. I mean, Jaeger's up there.
Can I say this about Jaeger? I am tempted a little bit with Jaeger, and it's not great. It's not great. I think we got Jaeger at a bigger number this morning too. Yeah, we got Jaeger at like 55 or 60 this morning on the First Look show. That's why you got to be on the First Look show. Nut Hut only, by the way, Discord only. The thing with Jaeger is the ball striking iron play has been very good lately, and I think he's added distance. His average driving distance is much better than you think it is. His weakness has always been the putter, but he's gained strokes on Paspalum in his PGA Tour career. And I think the one thing I'd say about Jaeger is while he only has, I think, one top 5 finish on the PGA Tour in like 3 or 4 seasons, which isn't great. Why do I feel okay? Is this crazy? You remember how he did on the Korn Ferry Tour? Like he dominated on the Korn Ferry Tour.
He won a lot.
He won like 3 or 4 times. Why do I feel like that should translate to a guy like this if he's in contention on Sunday, being a little more able to close the door than Taylor Pendrith or than Beau Hossler? Or, you know what I mean? Like because he's a winner on the Korn Ferry Tour over and over and over again.
I don't think that's a bad way to think. I mean, here's the thing: is if you got a guy like that's a winner, like a Max Homa, closes the door on Sundays. I mean, it does make you more apt to bet that guy over somebody you haven't seen it from. I don't care what tour they're on. If you're getting wins,
yeah,
you're still getting wins, and especially Steven Jaeger, who got that Battlefield promotion, I believe, where you had 3 wins on the Korn Ferry Tour, and then you just automatically make it to the PGA Tour. There hasn't been many people that have done that since he did. I think I'm right. He may not have gotten quite there, but still. So
yeah.
I don't. It's just he is one of those that it's like you do feel like you're holding your nose a little bit to take him. If you're getting him at 36-1, 35-1, I think you need to shop. You need to get him at 50-1.
Yeah, and I think that number's gone now. That's First look, he was at like 55 or 60 maybe. What about Byung-Hun An? His numbers kind of stabilized today. He was in the 35 to 40 range. He's at 35 on DK and PointsBet. Plenty of distance, great iron play. Can't putt, but I don't mind team no putt this week on the flat, pretty slow, not grainy Paspalum greens.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you saw Ben on at T6 at Valero. What did he do last week? Did he play in the team
Yeah, him and
event?
SH Kim played. They played well.
Yeah. So, and Ben On is just he's got so much experience on tour. So you kind of feel like in a field like this where there is some lack of experience, especially at overall in general there is, but there also there's not the name value here. Ben On is somebody that I think could step up and win. Absolutely. Just like I think a Brandon Wu, who almost won here last year, can win.
Okay, I
Same kind of
I
thing.
like Dylan more than I like Brandon.
Yeah,
We had the Woo discussion this morning.
yeah.
Dylan's been more consistent. Brandon's done well in some of these bigger field events like the Players, Pebble Beach, I guess he was runner up, but that wasn't a really strong field. Honda T14. So he's had like these really peak iron weeks, which is nice. But to me, Dylan's been the more consistent player. He just, he hasn't had the runner up finish, but he's been more consistent. It feels like, they got to be close to the same freaking player. I don't. They kind of do the same things well. I would almost rather have Dylan at the longer number, but I don't have either one of the Woo boys right now. Can I tell you who my fade is in this range that I don't understand the love for? I just don't. I don't.
Okay.
And I think he's one of your guys. I'm happy to say I've lost a lot of money on a lot of guys over the years that have not won yet, and I've been praying they win. Right? I can confidently say I have lost very little money on Beau Hossler over the years. Just so little money. I just don't understand. The number one indicator, like the most talked about thing, every single almost without fail, every single week on the PGA Tour is stroke gain approach, iron play.
Mm-hmm.
He has sucked his entire career with irons, and he sucks now. Even off the tee, he hits it okay far. Okay, like farther than average for sure, but not like super elite distance. And he still doesn't gain a lot of strokes off the tee. Like, what does he do? Why are people so infatuated with Beau Hossler? The putter? Well, if that's why, and I guess long term, that's the best statistic he's got over his PGA Tour career. But short term, it's terrible. It's really, really bad in 2023. It's really bad. In 2023, he's only gained strokes 3 times with his putter out of what, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 events? That's not what Beau Hossler's used to doing. Why does anyone want to bet him? Do you want to bet him?
I don't, and I actually
He's
I
40 to
don't know
1,
where
45 to 1. Like what? Why?
Cue that video.
Why? I thought of our synapses fired at the exact same time.
Yeah. I don't. I think at one time I was a Beau Hossler person.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's sort of I've fallen off with that. I don't really. At times in DFS, I like to play him. There was a time actually earlier this year where in single entries he was very high owned. I can't remember which tournament it was. I think it's Pebble Beach. And look what he did. He finished good at Pebble Beach. And so I don't know what it is. It's like these sharps out there figure out that, hey, this is a Beau Hossler week, and I don't know how they freaking know. I have no clue.
I don't know. I'm just saying, over the long term, I've been just fine fading Beau Hossler, and I don't see any reason to get off that train now. You talk about a weird number at 45 to 1. That's in the same range as Stefan Jaeger. Like, that is ridiculous. I would much rather have Jaeger over Beau Hossler, even though I know him and Clark paired up and did their thing. But how much do we know if Beau Hossler really? I know he did. I know he had to play somewhat well for them to go as deep as they went. But I bet Clark was carrying our boy Beau for a good bit of that.
Well, it's a good bet based off of the way Wyndham Clark's been playing.
Yeah.
So
let's get a little deeper into this range before we move on. Will Gordon is interesting to me. It's 70 to 1 on FanDuel. I like Taco Supreme, as we like to call him in the Nut Hut. Just the distance, the upside, the Brian Vranish on the bag. Love that. Will's got to put 4 rounds together, which he's not yet done. We've not seen him do it, but it's 70 to 1 in this field. I feel like I'm at least getting a fair price. Whereas, we're talking a lot about guys who we don't feel like we're getting a fair price. Another guy who I think we're getting a fair price on is Alex Smalley. Also,
I was just thinking him.
Also, FanDuel giving you the best number at 65-1. If you were watching the First Look show this morning, we cleaned FanDuel up this morning because almost every player we started to talk about and get on, the best number was on FanDuel, and it was by a mile. And so hopefully, those of you that were in that, hit some of that if you could, because those numbers were super juicy this morning, which is another good reason why you need to be on that First Look show. But Alex Smalley played here well last year, likes this golf course. I was reading some quotes from him earlier in the week about this tournament. Good iron player. I think Smalley's a play at 65 too.
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say, I think he's a great play. I'm big on Alex Smalley this week. Finished T6 here last year too. Let me ask you this. You look at some players who've kind of snuck around and played well at times. Mark Hubbard is one of them. He's 90-1 on PointsBet. He's 75-1 on FanDuel. Do you worry at all though? And I'm serious when I say this. I think you're probably going to laugh, but I'm serious. There are probably players in this field who have strict dietary regimens, and they don't break away from those regimens. But Mark Hubbard might see a burrito shop on a corner that he wants to go have a burrito at, and then all of a sudden Montezuma's Revenge hits, and poof. Away goes his victory. On a Saturday night, he decides he wants a burrito. Is that a risk at all?
Why? Yeah, that's a risk. But why is Hubbard your guy for that?
I don't know, because I feel like he wants to stray from the.
Hubbard does feel like kind of a feral cat out there a little bit.
Like he's a feral cat.
He's kind of like, just I'm gonna walk around the streets at night, and I'm gonna F anything that moves and looks good. And by F, I mean like maybe eat something or drink something.
Like I want this, like this street burrito looks really good. I want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something runs across the street.
There's a corn on a stick.
Something happens. And I just feel like that could happen with Hubbard. And it could be on a Saturday night even. Like nobody's thinking anything. Hubbard's leading the tournament going into Sunday. Boom.
Yeah. The biggest reason I don't like Hubbard here is because the driver, the lack of pop in the bat. I think I'm out. He played here last year. He made the cut. He finished like 50-something. And he gained, and he lost strokes off the tee, and he gained like 5 strokes around the green, which is ridiculous. And no, you should not be weighting that in your models this week on these big old greens. Like crazy that he did that. So
he's just had some really good finishes lately, though, despite all the stats and all the things that he might not do well. And it's on different courses. Like you got the Players T35, you got a T29 at Corrales, you've got the T11 at Heritage, which is very different type course than this is. Yeah, very different. But still, he's played well this year.
Yeah, he has.
But something about me would concern me that maybe I would look at Hubbard for a top 20. I don't think I would expect him to win though.
Yeah,
but Robbie Shelton.
Oh
God, Robbie Shelton. DB
getting me all hot and bothered up in here talking about Robbie S. Now he's in the next range because I see now that PointsBet has him at 80. You can grab Shelton at 80 right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to this and you can check that, God, I love that, dude. I mean, his ball striking, his long irons, which there's a lot of long irons at this golf course. T15 at Valero, 21 at the Honda, 6 at Amex, which was kind of a birdie fest. He's just got the distance, the iron play around the green's good. I'm all over Robbie Shelton too, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
We've been waiting on him too.
We have. He's one I'm pretty well pot committed on. So you give me Robbie Shelton as pot committed as I am at 75-80-1 in a field like this, I'm pushing the chips in. Yep. Have my Robbie Shelton chips. I'm with you. Well, all right, so let's get to that range. Kind of that 75-1, getting into this massive bomb territory. Do want to tell everybody and remind everybody, go check out SoBet if you've not already. SoBet.io is the website. you can join in the description of the podcast or video right now. Very cool idea, very cool concept. It's a one-of-a-kind concept, something that you don't find out there, where these guys have curated over 30 pro handicappers. They vetted these handicappers. These handicappers post their plays. They are expected to post every play with a unit amount. They're expected to keep track of those units, to give a report on their week every single week and update people on how they did. So there's full transparency on the platform. But these are vetted people. So the feed is only those pros. It's not everybody else. It's not like Twitter where anybody could just go. I saw one today, an account with less than 1,000 followers, and it was some golf account, golf handicapper, and it said the #1 golf handicapping content on the internet or something. And I was like, dude, okay, you can just say anything on Twitter, but on SoBet, it doesn't work that way. They make you back it up, and they vet these handicappers on SoBet. It's a fantastic platform. It's free to give it a look and check it out. Use promo code TJ, get you a little hookup there for the membership side of it. It's $9.95 a month. It's a beautiful site, and people are cashing all the time. I blindly tailed 3 Major League Baseball games yesterday on Sunday because I was bored to tears and I was in the house bored, and I'm in the house bored in the house, whatever, however that went.
Oh, so you're a baseball guy now too?
Well, no, I'm not. I literally just blindly tailed my guy Gutsy Gutsy in there, and I just cashed all 3, hit all 3. It was like a money line. It was a run total on the Phillies, and it was 2 money line bets. And I didn't even pay attention. I just looked at the app after it was over, and I won money. So check it out. SoBet referral code is TJ there. Link in the description. Getting into this longer kind of range here, Pat. It's not great. It's not great. I mean, like Lee Hodges, I kind of like. He was at 85-1 earlier. Now he's down to 75. Jeez, man. Who else in here?
Lee Hodges, to me, like, I feel like if I'm betting Lee Hodges, I don't know what it is about him. I mean, he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm betting my CPA. I'm betting the guy that I'm about.
There's way more CPA names in here.
Yeah, but Lee Hodges is one of them. Like, if
Lee Hodges is sounds like a guy who
is doing your will.
No, that's an auto group dealer, like Lee Hodges Auto.
Yeah.
Lee Hodges GMC, Buick, Pontiac, whatever. I don't think they make those anymore. But I like Lee.
I don't mind Lee. I agree.
Dude, okay. Is this a safe zone? Is this a safe place?
It's always a safe zone, DB. It's always a safe zone. Except for if I don't want it to be, then I change it.
Oh, okay. I'll take.
In this case, I'm not going to change it. I'll say that now.
I'll take my chances. Listen, in this stinky field, think about some of the names we've talked about. At even half the odds I'm about to give you on this guy, okay? None of them damn won a PGA Tour event. None of them done it. None of them. This guy has won on the PGA Tour. Okay? He checks very many boxes that would do well here in Mexico. I'm just going to say Luke List at 80-1.
Oh, goodness.
Feels like a bet we should make. I hit him at 80-1 at Torrey Pines. He's at 80-1 now. Torrey Pines, very driver heavy. This place probably even more so. Long irons, more approach shots from 225 plus at this golf course than most courses. Well, yeah, way more than most courses on the PGA Tour. Going to be a lot of long irons. Past Palom, I already talked about the easy greens.
Well, I mean, you are kind of a little bit of a Luke List whisperer. So whenever you've been on them, which is all the time, you've won bets.
Well, then wait a minute. Those two things can't. One of those things cannot be true.
Okay. But either way, I don't mind Luke List. I liked him with Henrik Norlander last week in the team event, and
looked. Data Golf had some strokes gained data. Luke carried that team in strokes gained.
Well, we always know that Luke, especially on approach. I mean, he's a good ball striker.
Off the tee and approach, he's going to gain a lot. I mean, here he should gain so many strokes off the tee here. Yeah, I got a feeling that's why one of the reasons why he's here. Like last year, he didn't play here, but
And you're seeing him what 90-1 is the best odds I see him at on PointsBet.
Oh, I got him at 80. You need to refresh? I think maybe.
Okay, maybe I need to do some refresh.
Yeah, he's at 80.
Because if you could get 90, I mean, obviously
he was 90. He was 90 this morning. We got him at. I think I talked about him at 90 this morning. I don't know if I bet him, but I think we talked about him. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
Who else you like in this spot?
Something just happened to my odds because you made me get refreshed, and now it's all discombobulated. I don't even see Luke List on here anymore.
Well, I'll just give you I guess I'll give you a couple. I got two more in the whole dadgum thing, and then I'm done.
Okay,
and then we'll move on to our top 20s. I mean, I think Akshay is kind of. It feels like I'm being a noob or something, or like I'm being I don't know. I'm some kind of Akshay simp. But 130-1 on DK, bomber, aggressive. Can definitely go low. Has done well on the Korn Ferry Tour on these coastal kind of tracks like this. The only concern with Akshay is he spends a lot of time taking pictures on the beach with that caked up baddie he's got. That's what we're worried about with Akshay. You got Hubs, worried about him wandering into some taco stand with, bad water that's going to mess him up. And Akshay, you're just worried about him doing a lot of influencers in the wild. But 130-1 is worth the sprinkle. So I don't. The last one for me is at 150-1, but I love this bet. This is one of my favorite bets. I love Andrew Novak at 150-1. Novak's coming off a 9th place finish at the Valero. He's been consistent lately. 12th at the Sony, 17th at the Bermuda. Played here last year, played quite well. 15th, gained almost 7 strokes on approach last week. Checks a lot of those proximity, long-term, long-range proximity buckets. He's a flusher with the irons. I like Novak a lot, 150-1. He was an early click for me this morning, so I like it. And that's it for me.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think Austin Eckroat is interesting to me. He's at 171 on PointsBet. He finished 5th at Corrales. A lot of missed cuts, a lot of, inconsistency, but that's what you see with a lot of these guys down here in this range. But Austin Eckroat, I think, is a guy that I think could definitely be up there with a chance to win. So at 175-1, I like him. You mentioned we kind of talked about I don't know. I guess that guy's not in this range. Apologize for that. I was gonna say Dylan Wu, but he's a little bit less than that.
You like both Wu boys?
I do like both of them. But I think Cam Champ. I'm seeing Cam Champ at 150-1.
Somebody brought him up in the chat this morning. I just don't like. I get it. If you go back and look
he is a winner on tour multiple times.
I know. But when you go back and look at when Cam Champ has played at these courses, where driver's a weapon and you can just rip it, his form coming in has never been as stinky as it is right now. I mean, like, he even missed the cut at Augusta again,
which was everybody was
crazy.
Yeah.
He
was everybody's sneaky play.
I think he's lost something, dude. I don't think he has it. Cam Champ's an anomaly, dude. Weird situation to me. I think something else. I don't know that the guy likes golf that much. I don't know what he's into.
Yeah, but he does feel like a guy that could come out of nowhere and win, because we see this on tour. We see guys that miss like eight or 9 damn cuts. The dude that won.
Well, he checks that box. If we're talking about guys who could win coming off of 9 consecutive cuts,
and he checks that box. That's good for golf. That's what happens in golf. James Hine, right? Didn't he win the Wells Fargo after like 8 or 9 missed cuts?
Yeah.
That's a box you got to look at, TP. You can't just take all the boxes.
So Cam Champ's going to take down John Rahm and Tony Finau.
Well, look at what we're doing here. We're talking about long bets with a field with John Rahm and Finau, who one of the other is probably going to win.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the outrights. Let's get to the top 20 6-pack, 2 locks, 1 bomb. Don't forget, download the Pickett app if you haven't already. Use promo code TJ when you do, referral code TJ when you do, and link one of your sports books or one of your DFS sites there. And we will look at the list of those of you who do starting this week, and we will pick one of you at random, and I will send you this koozie and this Masters hat 2023. Will cost you nothing. In fact, you're going to get paid to do it. You're going to get paid for the Pickett app download, and then if you win, you're going to get paid in a hat and a koozie. All right. Top 20 locks. This is hard. The locks portion of this was hard because none of them feel like locks that are in plus numbers. I mean,
yeah.
Wyndham Clark's at minus 105, and we've never done a minus number here on the top 20 locks situation, right? I don't know if we want to start now, but
I don't think we have.
Okay, so I'll let you start if you want, and we're probably going to say the same guys, but I'll let you start.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some of the same guys, but and so I think you could choose one or the other here, but I'm going to go with Nikolai Højgaard at plus 130 as my first pick.
Okay. Well, I mean, Højgaard was one on my list as well. I think Patrick Rodgers at plus 130 is the other one, right?
Okay, I thought you were going to go Ben on there at plus 150.
No,
okay.
I was not.
All right.
Is that where you're going?
No, that's where I thought you were going to go, and I don't mind it.
So who's your other pick?
My other one is actually, I'm going to go a little outside the box here, a little longer. Okay. Alex Smalley at plus 190.
I was looking at that one. All right. I'm going to go. I debated Ben on, but I think I'm going to go a little deeper down the board too. Just because, it just feels like one of those weeks. At plus 250. Dang, this number's actually gotten longer. I'm going to go Robbie Shelton. We talked about Robbie Shelton. Those are our 4 locks.
That was the other one I had right next to Smalley.
All right.
So we're
so Højgaard, Patrick Rodgers, Alex Smalley, Robbie Shelton, and then one bomb at 4-1 or longer. And Pat, boy, do I have a bomb. I'll let you go first.
All right. Well, mine is not a bomb because he's right on the cusp there at plus 400. But I just talked about him, Austin Eckroat, plus 400, top 20. I like that.
Nice. Okay. I am going to give you a guy who, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, who's played in 12 events in this season. Okay. Played in 12. This guy is plus 850, top 20.
Oh, wow.
He's played in 12 events. Okay. He has only missed 2 cuts, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10s and 6 top 25s on the Korn Ferry Tour. It is Alejandro Tosti. It's a Mortal Kombat reference there. Alejandro Tosti, 27th in the Korn Ferry Tour points list currently. Your 444th world golf ranking. But the guy is he's dangerous. I think he's dangerous. He's got a sponsor's invite into this event. Plus 850 is huge for a guy who's playing that hot. He just finished 22nd at the Laycom Suncoast Classic last week. But he's hot. He finished T25 at your Club Car Championship there at the Landings. Bahamas had a T22, had a T6 at the Argentina Classic, which I think is a Latin America tour, I think. And then another T5 at the Argentina Open. My man is he's gonna be comfy. And I think he's excited about the sponsors exemption. Plus 850, absolute nuclear bomb, top 20. Alejandro Tosti. And who'd you say again?
Austin Eckroat, plus 400. Kind of boring after that.
Isn't that a good one, though, huh?
I don't mind it. I think it is good. All right.
There you go. There you have it. That's a betting show for the Mexico Open. Check out the DFS show. Check out the awesome blog content going down at tourjunkies.com/blog. It's all free. It's all good stuff. You got a bunch of stuff dropping before the tournament kicks off on Thursday. Don't forget the Sunday Save Your Ass parlay that drops Saturday night, Sunday morning. on tourjunkies.com as well. Let's have a great week. Be back next week for another elevated event at Wells Fargo, the Quail Hollow course, which is one of our favorite courses on tour. I'll be on site. It'll be a good time. Thanks for watching. Ben